The Elizabeth line opens across London, 3.5 years late and more than £4 billion over budget. BBC Radio London's Harry Lowe is currently out, getting ready for the first train. Joins us now. I understand you're at Abbey Wood then, Harry, are you?
I am, Jason. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I mean, I can hear lots of buzz in the background, a load of people there. This is really exciting day for London.
Yes, it is. And actually, we've just had an announcement here on the loudspeaker.
First train, the very first train, but we will get you on one of the trains this morning. The turnout has been very large. We have limited numbers on the first train. We will get you on one of the Elizabeth trains, but possibly not the first one. We do apologise for this.
And the reason Ty Wallace, who you've just heard there on the loudspeaker, is using a megaphone, no less, is because there are, I'm not exaggerating, hundreds of people queued in the pouring rain here in this deprived part of South East London, if I'm honest, a forgotten part of South East London for many. They are queued in the pairs, umbrellas, rain jackets, and I've got to say some very, very excited Crossrail and Tube fans are here to marvel at what is Europe's largest infrastructure project, a project, as you say, that has been 13 years since ground was first broken in 2009, conceived of in the 1980s, approved in the 1990s, and of course, incredibly late, incredibly over budget. But I've got a feeling, just from having a little chat to a couple of people here, that that'll all be forgotten today, and people are genuinely, really, rather very excited.
But I want to know whether you'll get on the first train. I hope you're going to be able to get on the first train, aren't you?
I have. I've had a word with Transport for London, and they have. They've given me the wink and the nudge, and I will be boarding the first train.
Thank the Lord.
Looking forward to it very much. I've also been spending a little bit of time in Abbey Wood. I've lived here since 2016, so I've seen the area. Get excited about the announcement that it was coming, and then obviously be consistently and persistently disappointed and let down when the dates for opening slipped. And I'm actually standing outside one of the shops. I chatted to Lola yesterday from Yummy Cakes, and she's been telling me what she thinks the impact of Crossrail will have on her business.
We moved into the shop front in January, and it was one of the reasons, the selling points of why we came here. As you know, this is the first stop and this is the last stop. So we know that many people coming from Kent who wants to join the train station, they would have somewhere to wait while waiting for their train. So yes, we're optimistic.
Let me tell you, there are lots of people waiting for their train this morning. I don't think I've seen this part of Abbey Wood as busy in my life. If you go to the other side of the station, there's a lot more on that side. That's Abbey Wood Village, and you've got lots and lots of businesses there. One of them is a taxi firm, a minicab company which set up, bought the premises in 2014, all set for the off in December 2018, as you may recall, Jason, when the original opening date was given. And Nim said that although the planned opening date would have made a bigger impact in 2018, he's delighted it's finally coming.
The impact four and a half years ago would have been immense. I think with everything that's happened over the last couple of years with COVID, etc., people working from home, I think it'd be a little bit challenging. However, I think it'd be a slow burner. I think people just don't understand how high speed this train's going to be, how quickly you better get from east to west London.
A new railway, new businesses springing up. I wonder what the impact might be on house prices. And so therefore I went to Your Move on the High Street and spoke to Paul Winters, who is the branch manager there.
The impact that's already been has been sort of amazing and really good for a number of years since the work started. And I can only see it going one way, which is going to be up. Really, it's going to be a really good market. The majority of our buyers are coming from sort of North London, East London, South West London, because it is still one of the cheaper parts of London. So it's still a good place to buy. People come here and say, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's so green," and things like that. So people are still really excited to buy.
Very exciting indeed. So you got 15 minutes. Is it actually 6:30, the first train then, Harry?
Yeah, it departs here 6:30 sharp. There's one coming from Paddington to Abbey Wood at 6:30. Now, I haven't teed anybody up. Do you want me to go and ask one or two people in the queue what they
Yes, please.
think,
We'd love
Jason?
to hear what they think, definitely.
Hello, sir. My name's Harry. I'm from BBC Radio London. We're live on air. Just wondering why you're in line in the pouring rain at 6:15.
Well, it's not every day, is it, that you get to go on a railway line opening for the first time, and one that people have waited for quite so long to ride on. So I just wanted to be one of the first to travel through London on it.
Are you local?
And to have the first dog to travel through it on it.
Yes,
on
I
it
know.
as well.
I noticed you're with a guide dog.
Absolutely, yeah.
Tell us, how difficult is it to get around with a guide dog on London transport in general?
London's pretty good, really. It's a pretty good system, really, to get about if you're visually impaired. I suppose it's familiar. Staff are pretty good. Yeah, I think overall it's pretty good.
And what difference will the Elizabeth line make to you, lastly?
To me personally, probably actually not that much. I don't live locally. I came especially to ride it today, but I'm sure it's going to make a tremendous difference to many people in London. I think. Sorry, not being very coherent.
No, that's okay. Thank you so much for your time this morning. What was your name?
I'm Robert.
Robert, thank you so much. And Robert, you're with... Who's your dog?
Guide Dog Geo.
Guide Dog Geo. Thank you, Robert. And obviously, Robert makes a very good point there that although he might not personally be using the Elizabeth line on a regular basis, this line will relieve pressure on other London Underground lines and therefore help other commuters in London. Just a reminder that there are 3 different lines operating originally. So this line today, which will operate into Paddington, then you have trains out of Paddington towards Reading, and of course Heathrow Airport, and then a third separate line from Liverpool Street to Shenfield. I'm looking at the time, Jason. I think I'm going to have to get into the station.
Yes.
Otherwise I'll miss the train.
Get in there. Absolutely, Harry. Thank you very much. We'll come back to Harry as the train pulls out of the station, Abbey Wood, for the very first time on the Elizabeth line. Fantastic stuff from Harry Lowe there, our BBC Radio London heard from Harry, who's our reporter. We're trying to get back to him now, actually, because the train will go in a minute and a half on this momentous day for London. We are going to go to Abbey Wood, where our reporter, Harry Lowe, is on the very first Elizabeth line train. Harry, over to you. Talk us through it.
I'm surrounded by a large number of railway enthusiasts. What colour are you wearing, folks?
Pink.
They're wearing purple because the Elizabeth line is purple in colour, and they're getting very excited because I think we've got about 60 seconds till departure. Jeff Marshall is at the heart of things. Jeff, can I just have a quick word live on BBC Radio London? Can you just sum up this moment for us?
I'm out of words. It's beautiful to see so many people here, excited people, and it is exciting. I'm sure today there'll be a lot of detractors going, it's just a train, but for many people it's more than that. It's the anticipation, it's the excitement that it brings, and then obviously the actual genuine transport opportunities that it opens up for business and leisure travel. And in a post-COVID world, maybe it'll get everybody back on the train, travelling a bit more, maybe back in the office, and people aren't going to realise what sort of connections and possibilities it brings up. So, yeah, it's very exciting. Are we live, for real?
You're live on air. Yeah, what does it feel like to be on board?
Well, the trains, of course, have been running out west to Reading, east to Shenfield for a while, but I think when we hit the tunnel core section in about 10 minutes, when we first go underground, Whitechapel, good morning, that'll be exciting. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the journey. There's lots of dignitaries, as you can imagine, from Transport for London. And the doors are closing. I think that means...
Exciting.
The journey is about to begin. And you can hear the excitement on board, because this means that people will be able to get across the city in way less time than they previously were able to. This first stop will be Woolwich. After it goes to Woolwich, it will go on to Custom House. Then it will hit Whitechapel and Farringdon.
I hope everybody's ready and excited as we are. And 3, 2, 1, go.
We have liftoff here. The Elizabeth line is moving. It's heading towards Woolwich now. I've got to say, it's going quite fast. It's lovely on board. Let me describe the seating. It's purple, it's white, it's very cavernous. These trains, by the way, can fit 1,500 people on, and I've got to say, most people have clustered, as you might expect, by the entrance. As you might expect by the entrance to Abbey Wood Station, but I'm walking in the direction that the train is going, and it's fantastic. It's light, it's bright, it's airy. There are no toilets on board, Jason, and that's because Transport for London said that would cost 600 passengers an hour a chance to board these trains. It's not at capacity. It's busy, let me tell you, at one end of the... I'm walking towards the far end, it's getting quieter. Now, as a resident of Abbey Wood, I can tell you this train is going significantly faster than the South Eastern and Thameslink trains, which are on the platform to the left of me. And I have to say, I'm rather excited myself.
How long would it take to get to Woolwich?
It's going to be at Woolwich in 3 minutes, which would normally take 5 because there's a stop on the National Rail section at Plumstead. We are shortly going underground, so if you lose...
Which we have. We've lost him. But absolutely brilliant. What a momentous day for London, as we've been saying this morning, as the Elizabeth line opens. And there you have it live here on BBC Radio London.